Boy, this case is too funny. And don't quote me on this, gang. But Woody, Lil Woody, I think this is my prediction. My prediction is this case is going to get thrown out eventually. And when it gets thrown out eventually, Young Thug will have Lil Woody to thank for that. At the beginning, I was one of them that was like, Lil Woody is snitch. And he out here getting to his freedom, but he's sinking Thug. But as this plays out, I eat back every single one of those words. Lil Woody knows how to play fool to catch the wise, like my grandmama used to say. Lil Woody is one of them people that knows how to act like he's stupid, but he is smart as hell. And he is having a field day with fucking up this case for the for the prosecution. Part of my language. Let's get into the details. So, as far as it says right now, it says that the threat of a possible mistrial is looming large over Young Thug's gang and racketeering trial Monday, as the continuous proceeding resumed in earnest, with the jurors now returning from a nearly 2-month break. They gave these jurors a 2-month break. If you are a juror, you are expected to not discuss this case with anybody. You are expected to not go searching on social media for outlets that might be carrying this case. You are not expected to go watch all the Lil Woody interviews that Lil Woody been doing all over the place. You're not because all of that stuff might mess with how you think pertaining to the case, and you might somehow come up with a biased decision. Jurors were given 2 months break. 2 months break to go home and do what? To go home and discuss the case with all their friends and family, to laugh at the details of the case, to be influenced by outsiders concerning the case. This is already a mess. This is already a hot mess. Now, key prosecution witness Kenneth Woody Copeland, or Lil Woody as we call him, he was due to retake the stand after his prior appearance in the Atlantic case in June led to a controversial secret meeting. That secret meeting, in turn, led to the recusal of the former judge who was on the case, Chief Judge Uriel Granville. Chief Granville, or Judge Granville, he knew damn well he was in the wrong. And Young Thug's attorney is super friggin' smart at what he does, right? He already said to the judge, listen, I know about the meeting that happened this morning and it shouldn't have happened that way, right? And I went and looked it up, and he was absolutely right, because meeting with Woody and his attorney and the prosecution in the judge's chambers without notifying Young Thug's side and Young Thug's attorney, that could seem like they were cooking up something against Young Thug. Because, check it, Lil Woody is the key witness for the prosecution. So in no way he should have been in there in those secret meeting, and the judge is not allowed to do that. There's something under the law that allows the judge to do that, and if it does, the judge would need to notify Young Thug's attorneys about that meeting and what took place or is going to take place in that meeting, and give them the option to actually be there or not. He didn't do any of that. So when Young Thug's attorney told the judge, yo, I know what happened in your courtroom or in your secret meeting, and I know exactly what was said and everything, and he repeated some of it to him, Judge Uriel Granville got so pissed off, he started threatening Young Thug's attorney, telling him, I'm going to hold you in contempt. You have until the end of this. So he was like, you got 15 minutes to tell me who said it, because I want to know who's the snitch in my camp. Basically, he didn't say he was wrong. He said, I want to know how the hell you got that information. That means you got somebody in my office that's working for you. Boom. He would not fold. Thugger's attorney would not fold. So what did the judge do? The judge locked him up. He locked up the damn attorney. And what does, seriously, what does Thugger's attorney do? he requests to be locked up with his client so they could continue to work on their case. That's gangster. Anyhow, so at a hearing without the jury last week, Copeland told the court that this is Woody. Lil Woody told the court he wasn't sure that he would show up on Monday. They asked him, are you going to show up? He said, I'm not sure. Are you going to be willing to testify under your immunity deal with prosecutors, or are you going to refuse to cooperate and end up back in jail, or could possibly end up back in jail? Woody said, I don't know. I told you I don't know. It depends on how I wake up. This man said, I don't know. It depends on how I wake up. I might talk to y'all. I might not. I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. Now, depending on his decision, jurors were set. This is where the problem comes in. Jurors were set to be introduced, instructed to the jurors were set to be instructed to disregard either all or a portion of Woody's prior testimonies and any evidence that's related to his testimonies. That is impossible to do. That's like me saying to you, hey, you damn dickhead, and then I say to you, okay, disregard. Forget that you heard that. You might disregard it, but you can't forget that you heard me just say that to you, right? So this is what they're going to instruct the jurors to do. Disregard either all or a portion of Woody's prior testimonies and evidence that are relating to his testimony. Check it out, man. Woody already told these people from the beginning, and he is mind you, he is the state's main witness. He already told them from the beginning. He said, I took a deal, and he got his plea deal. He got his immunity deal, right? So he said, I took the deal. I was trying to save my own ass. And at the time, I told y'all a bunch of things because I was trying to save me. So now we in court. I'm telling you that the things that I told you, when I told you those things trying to save myself, those things were lies. I didn't know what I was saying. I was just saying anything. I was just telling you anything I could to save me. You see, by Woody saying that, that means they're going to have to disregard everything he said, because he is sitting here telling them that everything he told them before were lies. And he was just trying to get himself out of trouble because he himself had got caught up in trouble that had nothing to do with Young Thug, right? Now, the new judge that's dealing with this case, Judge Paige Reese Whitaker, said that she was planning to then ask the jurors if they felt capable of following such an instruction to disregard either all or a portion of Woody's prior testimony and any evidence that's related to that testimony. She gonna ask the jurors if they feel like they're capable of doing that. The judge said that she wanted to know sooner rather than later if the response from any of these jurors might be, I just cannot do it. Then once I hear it, I can't unhear it, because she would then have to excuse those jurors. So any one of those jurors go in there and the judge say, can you do it? Can you act like you never heard all the stuff that he said before? If any of them jurors say, well, you know, I could pretend, but honestly, I can't act like I didn't hear it. I heard it. Which is stupid as hell. Because the judge herself knows that nobody can do that. You heard it, you heard it. Okay? And I guess if it's 8 jurors that says that they can't do it because they'll still remember it anyways, then we might have a mistrial. But it's better to go ahead and figure out from the offset, as far as I'm concerned, judge said. Acknowledging the question could blow up the 19-month trial that started with jury selection in January of 2023. We are in August of 2024, and this case is still going. Now, Whitaker cited that an appellate court case on the basis for asking the question and said that such an inquiry of the panel seemed like a pretty good idea to me. The jury hearing the case has 12 members and four alternates. So it could, or it would only take 5 jurors saying that they wouldn't be able to disregard Copeland's testimony, which is Woody's testimony, for a possible mistrial. All it needs is about 5 of them jurors to say, I can't unhear what I heard before. We can't disregard his if they say that, then this is going to a mistrial. Now, Douglas Weinstein, who is the lawyer for DeMonte Gotti, aka Yak Kendrick, one of Williams' 5 co-defendants in the current trial, told Rolling Stone magazine on Friday that he believes that any mistrial connected to Copeland's testimony should end the case for good. Any mistrial connected to Woody's testimony should end this case for good. I'll argue it's a mistrial based on prosecutorial and judicial misconduct, and therefore is a double jeopardy. Should attach, and we should not be subject to a retrial, he said. Now, referring to Woody, the lawyer said that he is the most colorful witness that we have had. Certainly the most memorable. How do you forget that? How do you forget all Woody's antics? Woody up there on the damn thing talking about, can I get some water? I'm sleepy. Man, I don't know. I don't even want to be here. And he's just carrying on with all his antics. How does anybody forget that? Now, during his time on the stand, Woody, he would rock back and forth. He would yawn dramatically, like one of them big old yawns you let out when you tired as hell and it's after midnight and you watching a boring ass movie but you falling asleep. And he admitted that he was robotically given answers without listening to the questions. That's what he said to them. Woody said, "Nah, I'm just rolling these answers off to you. Yeah, I ain't even listening to the questions you asking me. I'm just answering." His repeated, "I don't recall, I don't recall, I don't recall" reply became a meme on social media. And remember, these jurors have been out on break for 2 months. They have not been sequestered. They have not been locked in. So they've been paying attention to social media with Woody out doing all these interviews and watching back all the playbacks from court with his testimony. For sure. Colorful or not, though, Woody is a key member of the purported Young Slime Life gang as the center of this trial. Now, in a series of interviews with investigators, Woody made various and often inconsistent statements about things that he allegedly heard in the aftermath of a 2015 murder listed in this indictment. Now, prosecutors are using portions of those statements to support their claim. Kendrick and another co-defendant now on trial named Shannon Stillwell were involved in the deadly shooting. But Woody already told them, "I honestly didn't know nothing. I was just making stuff up because I was trying to get my own self out of trouble." What he's saying then, by him saying that, is his testimony is not trustworthy. Now, in their 65-count RICO indictment naming 28 defendants, prosecutors allege that YSL was one Bloods-affiliated gang that terrorized Atlanta with drug sales, armed robberies, shootings, and 3 murders. Prosecutors alleged Young Thug was born Jeffrey Williams. He is the co-founder and led the gang as he simultaneously rose to prominence in the music industry and even won a Grammy Award. Williams has pleaded not guilty. This is Young Thug. Thugger has pled not guilty to all these charges. And his lawyer, Brian Steele, has denounced the state's RICO indictment as unconscionable and false. And in filing, he is filing to recuse Glanville Steele, which he did, and got that judge thrown off the case because of his unethical behavior and the trial he calls broken. He's not running this criminal street gang. This is what Young Thug's attorney said. He ain't running no damn street gang. Steele said about Young Thug during the opening statements last November. He is not sitting there telling people to kill people. He doesn't need their money. Jeffrey is worth tens of millions of dollars already by himself. And it's not street gotten money. He got that money in the music industry. So this whole concept of him being some gang leader that sits and calls shots is just ludicrous. Now, they asked what thug means to him because he got it tattooed on him. And he said thug for him means truly humbled under God. Now, fast forward to today. And today is the 12th of August, 2024. And guess who shows up to court to testify after he said, I don't know, depends on how I feel. Well, Woody. Woody is back in court. Kenneth Woody Copeland, the state's key witness in this ongoing case against Atlanta rapper Young Thug and 5 others, he agreed to continue his testimony today, August 12th of 2024, Monday morning, as the longest trial in Georgia's history resumes. Copeland was told to choose between retaking the stand and testifying or sitting in jail until this trial is over. All right, a reluctant Copeland eventually said, after being asked repeatedly by Judge Paige Reese Whitaker whether he planned to testify. Do you plan to testify? So they are threatening this man. They're telling Woody, if you don't testify, we're going to put you to sit in jail until this trial is over with. Woody wore a gray striped suit and tie, well prepared today for court. He told the judge that he felt pressured from the get-go to testify in this case. It's not something he want to do. It's something they're making him do. I'm tired of y'all bothering me, man. Woody said, this is the state's key witness, fam, telling them this morning, August 12th, 2024, he shows up to court. They telling him, if you don't testify, we putting you in jail, and you can sit there until this trial is done. So are you going to testify or not? And this man says, y'all are pressuring me to testify. You know I don't want to testify. I'm tired of y'all bothering me. Woody took to social media while waiting to be called into the courtroom in Monday morning. Then he was drinking water in his suit and tie during an Instagram live stream in the courthouse. He going live on Instagram. Woody don't give 2 fucks about this case, okay? And this is exactly why this case is going to be thrown out. If this is the state's key witness, this case is fried. So, back on the stand. There goes Woody. He's back on the stand again. He looked mad as hell too. And he continued to avoid the questions just like he did the first time he testified in June. Basically, Woody is saying to them, listen, I'm going to get up here on the stand and play your game. Okay? I'm not answering nothing you ask me truthfully. I'm just going to keep on giving you stupid answers since this is what it takes for me to not be locked up. Now, you could either accept that there's no need for you to have me here because I'm not cooperating with you, or you could play the game and I'll play your game. I don't recall nothing that happened years ago, is what he told prosecutors on the stand this morning. I don't recall nothing. That pretty much sums it up. Don't ask me anything because I don't recall a damn thing. Defense attorney Doug Weinstein renewed his motion for a mistrial, alleging that Woody was coerced into testifying by the former presiding judge, Uriel Glanville, but Whitaker quickly denied it. So the new judge says, nah. Basically, one of the lawyers said, listen, that secret meeting they had, that was Judge Glanville having Woody in his office in that secret meeting, coercing him on what to say in the testimony. And, the new judge says, nah, I'm not buying that one. So you ain't getting no mistrial off of that. Now, Monday, which is today, marks the first time the jurors have been back in the courtroom since June 17th. And today is August 12th. How do they even go on and call these jurors credible? Now, at the time, Judge Glanville was the one that was leading, right? But he was removed from the case last month over his handling of the case and the meeting, that secret meeting that was held with Woody and Woody's and the prosecution team. Now, the new judge introduced herself to the jury and said that we're not to concern yourselves with the fact that there is a new judge on the bench. Since he agreed to testify again, jurors were instructed to disregard several days of Copeland's testimony starting from June 12th at 3 p.m. when Glanville was first asked to step aside. Asked whether any of the jurors would have a problem putting portions of Copeland's testimony out of their minds, none of the jurors stood up. That's bullshit. That's foolishness. You come in as a new judge and you're asking the jurors to disregard testimony given under an old judge by the same colorful witness, and all of the jurors said they can do it. A frustrated Woody also went on a tangent, answering questions of times with I don't recall, I don't recall, I don't recall, I don't recall, and telling prosecutors that I lied constantly to the police in an effort to keep myself out of trouble. I am here to tell the truth or remember my lies. Which one? Am I here to tell the truth or am I here to remember my lies? I done told the police whatever, man. Means I told them any damn thing. I can't remember half of what I even told them. I'm not going to tell them whatever I can to finesse my way. I am going to tell them whatever I can to finesse my way out of whatever situation I'm in. And that's what I was on. He said that he threw Young Thug's name around in a police interview to get himself off the hook. In my mind, I knew that the police would never go mess with him because, you know what I'm saying, it's Young Thug. It was easy for me to try to throw the blame off on him to get them off of me because he thought the police would never go mess with Young Thug because he's famous, Grammy winner, lots of money, whatever. But actually, they did go mess with him. And they are using what Woody told them against Thugger. And they want Woody to back it up. And Woody is not backing it up because he's saying, look, I told y'all a bunch of lies and I don't even remember what I told y'all. Woody said that he told the detectives whatever he thought they wanted to hear. He said that on the stand on Monday that one of those investigators had a squirrel-sized brain. So that detective, he got a squirrel-sized brain, so he'll believe anything I tell him. So I just told him whatever I wanted to tell him. Then he became visibly irritated, telling the prosecutors that they were trying to put people's lives in his hands. Y'all trying to put people's lives in my hands, man. I don't want to be on the stand. I do not want to be on the stand. Leave me alone. Let me leave. Y'all are pissing me off. It's what Woody told them today. Oh my God. Listen, this case, man, is the biggest shit show I've ever seen. This case needs to be thrown out like ASAP. But I guess it makes good for TV and entertainment. So they're going to keep on going with it. Leave your comments in the comment section below as I continue to follow this case closely. And I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV, Brain Flow TV. Y'all already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.